Hi everyone, so the other day I made a video about Penguinz0, aka moistcritikal, aka Charlie, whatever you want to call him. I criticized him for a bit of hypocrisy. So Charlie made a video about a woman named So Young who literally tortures animals on her YouTube channel. Charlie was speaking out against, the animal abuse she's committing, but I pointed out that Charlie also supports animal abuse with his food choices, so it's a bit hypocritical of him to behave in such a way, talking about how animal welfare is so important, how people shouldn't abuse animals, but he's also supporting animal abuse. Now, the reason I'm making this video today is because, to my surprise, Charlie actually made a response video, and I have to say, good on Charlie for making a response and actually, engaging and getting involved in this discussion about animal ethics. A lot of the people I make videos about, they don't even bother making responses, or if they do, they just leave, really petty personal attacks just calling me an idiot. So good on him for actually making a response and engaging in this topic. Now, with that said, I wasn't impressed by his response video. It was pretty terrible, in fact. It was littered with misinformation, fallacies, and he started off his video by making personal attacks against me and also just poisoning the well.
I want to lead this conversation by saying I have nothing but respect for veganism as a whole, but it's people like Vegan Gains who are overly aggressive and the feral monsters in his comments section that really give vegans a bad rap and a negative reputation in the world. They vilify anyone who's not a vegan. They treat it like a cult where you're a huge piece of evil and wrong if you're not in their club. Now, of course, I'm not talking about everyone who is a vegan. I am talking about this community that Vegan Gains has fostered here and he himself.
So right away, Charlie starts off by making ad hominem attacks against me. Rather than attacking my arguments, he's attacking my character and attacking me personally. And I didn't behave in this way that he's describing. I wasn't hateful, aggressive, or toxic in my response video to him. The entire time I was calm and respectful, so I don't even know why he's accusing me of this, but even if I did behave in such a way, why does it matter? I made a series of clear, concise arguments in my video, so what you should be doing is criticizing my arguments and not just making personal attacks against my character. And I'd also consider this well poisoning. He accused me and my entire vegan community of being toxic and hateful. So what he's really doing here is he's priming his audience with adverse information that makes me seem, toxic, unreasonable, and it primes his audience to be more receptive to what he has to say. And I find this extremely hypocritical for him to call me and my community toxic when his community is incredibly toxic. I just did a live stream a few hours ago, and because Charlie did this response video around the same time I started my live stream, a lot of his followers came over to my live stream, and what did they do? They called me names, they were spamming the chat with, oh, meat tastes great, you're an idiot. They were talking about how they butcher and kill animals, and throughout the entire stream, there were people encouraging everyone to false flag the stream to get it taken down and to give my channel a community guideline strike, and there were even people who were insulting me with racial slurs like the N-word. Is my community that toxic, Charlie? Does my community go over to your channel and just spam you with nonsense? Do the people who follow me encourage everyone to false flag your videos, your streams to give you community guideline strikes? Do they insult you with racial slurs? I'm pretty sure they don't. So not only are you just making ridiculous personal attacks and poisoning the well, but this is just completely hypocritical. Your community is just as, if not more toxic than my community. And what the hell does this matter? What does this have to do with the topic of my video of animal ethics? Nothing. You are just going off on a completely irrelevant tangent to just make me and my community look bad so that you seem like the reasonable one, but you are clearly anything but reasonable.
Now, I'm only going to be taking bits and pieces of his video because it's a 12-minute video, but 6 of those minutes is dedicated to showing what goes on behind closed doors in the meat industry and the horrible shit that happens there in some of those places. But I want to focus on the points he himself is making. So this one here, I am just as bad if not worse than So Young because I'm paying someone to do what she does on camera. But that's not it either. Like, you're totally fucking wrong. I'm not paying someone to torture animals. What people who eat meat are under the impression of, they're paying someone to humanely provide that food for them, given the circumstances, as humane as it can possibly be. If I found out the place I'm getting my meat from has a fucking YouTube channel where they're finger blasting cow carcasses and using chicken corpses as baseball bats, I'll stop buying from it, obviously. No one is paying for these animals to be paraded around on YouTube and tortured, have salt poured on their corpse so they wiggle around and scream. No one's paying for that. So for him to say that I want to go out of my way to slap these meat producers in the face with money because I need that precious meat and don't care how they treat the animals is outright wrong.
So this argument is ridiculous. It makes no sense, and honestly, I think Charlie is just being dishonest here. So Charlie is arguing that your average consumer is completely oblivious to the fact that the animals that are supplied to these fast food chains like KFC suffer horribly before they're killed. Well, I would disagree with that. I think your average person is informed enough to know that these animals really are suffering before they're killed. So, no, your average person is well aware that if they're buying food from somewhere like KFC, those animals really did suffer in the animal agriculture industry. There isn't the assumption that these were grass-fed, free-range, humanely treated animals. That is just complete nonsense. And secondly, this wouldn't even apply to you. You saw my video. I showed you footage inside these factory farms and inside these slaughterhouses where these chickens are killed, and I even showed you footage inside a Tyson factory farm, and Tyson Foods supplies chickens to fast food restaurants, including KFC. So you are well aware that animals suffer horribly in these industries, yet you still buy meat. You still support these industries. You can't use this argument and claim ignorance, saying, I wasn't aware this was happening. And even if you were completely ignorant, guess what? You are still supporting these industries that torture and murder animals. Whether you're aware of it or not, you are supporting that. So you claiming ignorance doesn't matter either way.
It's not illegal, nor is it some type of moral conundrum to like animals, but still eat meat.
So two really bad arguments here. First argument he made, he said that killing and eating animals isn't illegal. Well, what does that matter? The law doesn't determine morality. At one point, it was legal to keep slaves. In Nazi Germany, it was legal to kill Jews. So is it okay to keep slaves and kill Jews as long as it's legal? No. So if the law doesn't determine morality, then why are you using that as an argument? And the second argument he made wasn't even an argument, he just merely made a statement. He said that it's not contradictory to claim that you're an animal lover but also kill and eat animals. No, that is completely contradictory. If you are going to claim that you love animals or you are a friend to animals, you can't then kill them. You're a dog lover, it seems, Charlie. You have, a lot of Instagram videos and videos where you're playing with your dogs, giving them a lot of love, care, and attention. Would it be hypocritical for you to shoot and kill your dogs? Just shoot them in the back of the head and then chop them up and eat them? Yes, that would be pretty damn hypocritical. You can't claim that you love something, you can't claim that you support animal welfare, but then also support their abuse and murder. That's nonsense.
Now, it's probably worth noting, I love meat alternatives. He mentions that there's plenty of meat alternatives like Beyond Meat. I love that. Beyond Meat slaps hard as shit. Impossible Meat bangs like a mother. I will proudly stand on that hill jerking off and say, vegan meat substitutes is significantly better than real meat. I don't eat red meat anymore. I haven't eaten red meat in a long time, but I eat the out of their beef substitutes because it is significantly tastier.
So now Charlie is admitting that he is totally aware that he doesn't have to eat meat, he can just eat plants, and he can eat meat alternatives that are 100% plant-based, and he even admits they're better in every way, they even taste better. So what's the excuse to buying, actual meat, especially from a place like KFC, where they horribly abuse their animals? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you even making this video response to me if essentially you agree that eating meat isn't good and there are better alternatives? Humane killing? There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel. It is inherently cruel.
This is a point I see brought up throughout all of veganism, that no matter how an animal is killed, no matter how humane it's deemed, it is inherently evil and wrong. But I have to ask, then does that make every animal in the animal kingdom inherently evil? Because the vast majority of animals out there eat other animals to survive, and they don't do it quickly. So does that make every animal in the animal kingdom that eats other animals inherently evil, or is that trait specific to humans alone? And if so, why? I know people always say that to a vegan when they're trying to epic own them in a Reddit comment, but typically they'll just say that that's deflecting or a dumb question. But I actually would like to know your opinion on it, Vegan Gains. What do you feel when an animal eats another animal? Is that animal now evil, and is that whole species bad? It's just, I don't understand where the line is drawn. Humans do it in a way that is significantly less cruel to the animals than how the animals do it to each other.
So I have a few things to say about this, but first of all, to answer your question, do I think carnivorous animals like lions, do I think they're evil for eating meat? No, that's ridiculous, and that's for two main reasons. First of all, animals like lions, they don't have anywhere near the intelligence that you have, and they also don't have moral agency. It's not like they have the ability to think critically and, think about the moral consequences of their decisions, so they can't be held accountable for their actions, whereas you can. So why would I hold them to the same moral standards as you? And secondly, animals like lions, they hunt and kill out of absolute necessity. When they're hunting down a gazelle, they have no other food options. If they don't hunt and kill, they won't survive. It's literally life and death. Whereas you have the luxury of not being in that position. You aren't killing to survive. You're not eating meat to survive. You are eating meat like KFC just because you like the taste. And as you pointed out, you have plenty of other plant-based options. You could buy mock meats like Beyond Meat, and you even mentioned that these are ethically superior, they're more environmentally friendly, they even taste better. So you have no excuse here. Why would I hold a lion to the same moral standards as you when you don't have to kill and eat animals to survive, and you're much more intelligent than them, and you have moral agency? Doesn't make any sense. And secondly, I want to point out that this is a just non-argument. It's a red herring. Charlie played the clip where I argued that murder is inherently cruel. There is no way to kill and murder an animal humanely, because killing an animal that wants to live is inherently cruel. It is an act of cruelty. Well, rather than coming up with any kind of counter-argument, Charlie just went off on this completely random tangent asking me, well, is it wrong for animals to kill other animals? What does that have to do with my argument? Absolutely nothing. So you started off this video calling me completely unreasonable when you can't even respond to my arguments. It's nonsense. And I'm not accusing Charlie of doing this. I don't know what his real intention was here, but normally when I hear this sort of argument made or point that animals kill other animals, people are suggesting that because animals do it, then it's okay for us to do it. Well, if you're actually making that argument that if animals do it, it's okay for us to do it, then you can't criticize So Young. As you pointed out, when animals kill other animals, they do it in horrific fashion. They usually start eating the animal while it's still alive. Well, if it's okay for us to emulate animal behavior, then what So Young is doing is perfectly fine. She's emulating animal behavior. She is eating these animals while they're still alive, just like other animals do. So again, if you're going to use this as an actual argument, it just proves further that you are a complete hypocrite. If somebody shot a dog in their backyard, killed it instantly in one shot, would you say, oh, good, he humanely, nicely murdered his dog? No.
Yeah, this comparison you've given here is actual dog. This doesn't fit anywhere into this ballpark here. Someone came and shot your pet for no reason. When these animals are being killed, there is a reason behind it. It is so that it can provide food for people out there.
So Charlie has made a straw man argument here. He's claiming that I made an argument that I never said, and he has taken this clip of me out of context and changed the meaning. So in my original video, I proposed a hypothetical where if you were to take your own family pet dog, take it into the backyard, shoot it and kill it instantly, and then eat it, you wouldn't claim that's a humane killing because you needlessly killed a sentient being that felt love, joy, happiness, that wanted to live, and you took it all away from it just because you wanted to taste its flesh. You didn't need to kill that dog for food. You could have eaten other foods like meat substitutes, but you chose to needlessly kill that dog and take away its life, which is clearly an inherent act of cruelty. Now, Charlie took that clip out of context and is now claiming that I proposed a hypothetical where somebody just kills a pet dog randomly for no reason. Well, that's not what I said, Charlie. So again, you have still not responded to my argument. I am arguing that it is an inherent act of cruelty to kill an animal, regardless of how humane you think the killing is. And then Charlie proceeded to contradict himself with his claims on humane killing.
I think I get the point you're making, but dog and pig, why dog, not pig? Oh, goodness me, what if dog was killed? You'd be upset about dog, but not pig. You can be upset equally for both. If that pig is a pet and it gets killed like that, you're gonna be upset. It's inhumane. That's not what we're talking about here. That makes no sense.
So now Charlie is claiming that it is inhumane to kill a family member, which contradicts his claims about humane killing, because he said, as long as you raise an animal nice, you don't abuse it, you just give it love, care, and attention, and then you kill it, well, then it's a humane killing. Well, if an animal like a dog, or you can even have a pet pig, if it's a family member of yours, you're going to give it an especially more love and attention than, say, a farm animal. So it's going to live a much happier, much more fulfilling life, and then if you kill it instantly, well, that would be the most humane killing there is. But now Charlie is claiming that if you give an animal too much love and care, then it's wrong to kill it. It doesn't make any sense, and again, it seems like my point is proven that it is wrong to needlessly kill an animal that is sentient, that has a will to live, that can feel love, joy, happiness. So again, my point is proven, and you still haven't come up with a counter-argument to any of my claims.
I know I only showed like 4 clips from his video, but that's because these are the only 4 times he made a point. The rest of the video was filled with either him repeating the same thing or showing the atrocities that do unfortunately occur in some places in the meat industry. And I agree, terrible, absolutely terrible what happens in some of those places. And then he talks about the meat alternatives and how great they are. Totally agree. That slaps. I talk about it on my streams from time to time when people ask me what my opinion is on vegan food. I love meat alternatives. But the majority of the video is him just repeating the same point. Meat eater can't like animals. If meat eater like animal, meat eater wrong, meat eater dumb, meat eater bad. It's the silliest way of looking at things, the most childish and naive way of approaching things.
It's funny how Charlie is claiming that my arguments for animal ethics are overly simplistic and just plain dumb, when you literally were unable to come up with a single valid counter-argument, and your video was littered with logical fallacies. You made ad hominem attacks, poisoned the well, made red herrings, straw men. You even directly contradicted yourself when it came to humane killing. You did not come up with a single valid counter-argument, but yeah, somehow I'm the dum-dum.
By vilifying these people, by vilifying meat eaters, you're ensuring that they're never going to try vegan food. Because they're going to associate vegan food when they see Beyond Meat, vegan, they're going to associate that with someone who's just crying on YouTube.
So again, this is just another personal attack. Rather than criticizing my arguments, he's just criticizing me personally. He's claiming that people are going to have a bad association with veganism because of my character. What does my character have to do with my arguments? Once again, you completely failed to criticize any of my arguments, and you're just attacking my character, but I'm the unreasonable, toxic one.
I fucking tuned into your Doom Eternal stream last night and you started whining towards the end of it about how everything you do loses you subscribers. You then had a moment of self-reflection and realization when you said maybe it's because you're an unlikable asshole. Yes, that's exactly why. That is how you're perceived on YouTube. It's how you conduct yourself.
So Charlie just keeps going on with these personal attacks. What does me being an unlikable asshole have to do with my actual arguments about animal ethics? Absolutely nothing. It's funny how you claim that I am a toxic person when all you can do is just make personal attacks against me. And he even goes to the extent of lying about me. He claimed that I started whining while I was streaming Doom Eternal, whining about me losing subs. Again, this is another attempt at making me seem an unreasonable, whiny, bitchy person. I didn't do that. I wasn't whining about losing subs on my Doom Eternal stream. I just simply mentioned it when somebody asked me a question about what content they should make on YouTube, and and they were worried about losing subs. Here's the clip.
I'm afraid that my girly vids will lose some subs and my nude cooking will then lose the girls. Do you think I could satisfy different people?
That can always happen. I don't know if you'd lose subs in that sort of circumstance, but yeah, if you make content that some people aren't into, yeah, you could end up losing subs. Subs aren't always the biggest, concern. But yeah, like right now with the live streaming and shit that I'm doing, I'm losing subs constantly. Even when I don't live stream, I don't know. I've just been losing subs. Even when I make good content, like Worst of the Fitness Industry videos. Maybe I'm just an unlikable asshole that's catching up with me. Maybe make a second channel to play it safe. So there you go. Charlie actually lies about me, lies about things I said, and bends the truth so that he can make these personal attacks against me and claim that I'm this whiny, annoying vegan, when clearly I wasn't whining about losing subs on that stream. I was just mentioning it in passing when responding to a donator. I don't even care about losing subs. I just do what I want on YouTube. And by the way, Charlie, that was a joke. I know why I'm not well liked on YouTube. It's not just because I'm just an annoying asshole. It's because this platform is filled with willfully ignorant, dishonest liars like you who can't handle the truth. That's why I'm not well liked.
You're extremely condescending to anyone that's not in your club. You literally present yourself as a pseudo-intellectual Twitter user on YouTube.
Again, more personal attacks from Charlie. What does me being condescending, what does me being a pseudo-intellectual have to do with my actual arguments about animal ethics? Absolutely nothing. You are the ad hom king. Rather than criticizing my arguments and what I'm actually saying, you just attack me personally. It's pathetic. And I don't even think you understand what pseudo-intellectual means. Pseudo-intellectual means you are claiming you have intellectual capabilities that you do not have. Well, that's funny coming from someone who unknowingly uses logical fallacies, cannot construct valid arguments, and uses words that he doesn't understand.
I went through his recent content just to kind of catch up on him, and his videos still are primarily him attacking people in the fitness industry for meat and things like that, going out of his way to be aggressive. So he still does have a bad attitude towards these things.
So this is essentially the end of Charlie's video, and I know I keep repeating this, but holy crap, all you can do is make personal attacks against me. So now you're criticizing me just because I criticize people. You didn't mention anything about my criticisms being unreasonable, unfair, untrue. No, you're just mad that I criticize people regardless of whether or not I'm right or wrong. It's funny how you call me a pseudo-intellectual when you're making these sorts of claims. So Charlie, if you think I'm such a pseudo-intellectual, if you think my ideas on animal ethics are so dumb and simplistic, why the hell can't you make a single counter-argument? And if you're so confident, let's have a live debate. I don't care where it's held. I know you have a podcast. I'd be more than happy to come onto your podcast and have a debate about animal ethics. You can come on my channel and we can have a debate over Discord. I don't care. Easy way to get into contact with me is through Twitter. I followed you. I can't message you though, so I'd appreciate it if you could send me a DM. I've already tweeted to you. So that's it. Charlie, you have no argument. If anything, in this video, you actually supported my position, and yeah, don't have anything else for you.